Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. For this video we'll be going through an unboxing of the Shining Grasper Dragon, and this particular kit is from the SD Gundam World Heroes line, released by Bandai this year being 2022. So going through some of the kits I've recently had come through from HobbyLink Japan, so I'll include a link to the Shining Grasper Dragon in the description, as well as a wider link back to some of these other kits within the Gundam World Heroes line. So, the Shining Grasper Dragon. Here we have the front of the box, and I will admit, artwork wise, it looks very impressive. Sporting a nice little white and blue color scheme. Now we do have the Night Strike Gundam riding the back of the dragon, but as the little message says, that particular kit is sold separately. So that is the front of the manual. Now, interestingly enough, some of these kits now have this Gundam World Heroes, the Legend of Dragon Knight. So it does make me wonder if it's a slight deviation of the main line. But I guess we will see. No, we should also do that. Okay. Camera being very weird today. So, front of the box. Bottom of the box, nothing too major. Side of the box, so we have some shots of the actual dragon kit itself, some quick little blurbage, as well as, I guess if we look at this properly, so we do have a front and rear shot of the kit. It will be interesting to see how much of that blue is actually plastic, how much of it is stickers, how much of it is painted. I suspect most of it is probably painted. Bit of a pose shot of the dragon, and then the actual dragon with the Night Strike Gundam riding on it. So that's actually what the kit will look like, as opposed to the front of the box. And it looks like there will be a special adapter as well, which may or may not be needed. So that's one side of the box. In terms of the other side of the box, nothing too much to really talk about, other than there is a bit of a blurbage to go check out the SD Gundam World Heroes, the Legend of Dragon Knight info. So it does sound like it's a bit of a story deviation. So that was a look of the actual outside of the box. If we have a look in the inside, what do we have? 2 bags of runners, as well as the manual, which is to be expected. So I'll open up those bags and then we can have a better look at the manual and the runners. And with everything now out of the bag, so basically some A runners and some B runners. So front of the manual, so we have another shot of the front of the box, this time more focused on the dragon. We have another CGI art of the dragon with a little bit more of that blurbage, and then another shot of the Night Strike on the back of the dragon. So that's the front of the manual. Back of the manual's probably not going to be anything overly special. In fact, no, it's probably quite similar to the Warhorse kit that I looked at some time ago. Guess if we look at the instructions, so we do have our usual parts list: A1, A2, B1, B2, and no stickers. I will admit that I do feel this one is a bit of a one-up over the Warhorse, because there feels like there's a bit more translucent effect parts. Well, translucent plastic is probably a better term. But in saying that, it's definitely an SD, so what can one do? In terms of the instructions, what do we have here? So the upper body, the head, which does look quite cool, right and left leg, which isn't too much, the lower body, and then that all comes together very nicely. So this definitely will not be an overly convoluted kit to build. So once it's all together, there will just be some steps about the Action Base 5 connector, which will be at the bottom of the dragon, mounting different heroes. Some may or may not need that additional mounting, so that'll be in the, I don't know what this bit would be called, quote unquote saddle equivalent. And here we do have a actual example of the Night Strike being attached to the dragon. That's ultimately what it will look like, and it does look like he will, so his own little waist base will connect to that piece on the dragon, and it does actually have a nice little point about displaying the product in a well balanced manner on a level surface, which is a fair point. If it's neither of those, the kit will probably fall down. So that was the manual. No stickers for a change. Looking at A1 and A2, so the two together would make a fairly decent sized runner. Both A1 and A2 are also in white. There is a piece that has fallen off the runner, but it was just happily loose in the bag, so definitely hasn't been lost. It's just popped off that part of A1. So that's A1 and A2. Moving on to B1 and B2, which are now in that translucent sky blue, I guess. So it does feel like there are more of these effect parts. Well, well, actually no, I'll stick with effect parts for the dragon than the warhorse. But I think there'll still be a good amount of detailing and painting to really get the dragon to be a bit more accurate, but it's also half the fun. So B1, B2 in that translucent sky blue. Let's a quick look at the wings as well, which do look very nice. So those are those two. So that brings us to an end of the unboxing of the Shining Grasper Dragon. Very simplistic kit, pretty much just blue and white. I do believe there is a black and red version coming out soon. And yes, I did pre-order it. It's probably no real big surprise. So in saying that, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I will have a product link to the Grasper Dragon, as well as the wider range of STW heroes as well, where you will be able to find some of the future release kits and put them on pre-order if you so desire. Thank you very much for watching this unboxing video. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, link below. Stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video. See ya.